Hello everyone, and welcome to this podcast. Today, we're going to be mentioning to you some tips and tricks to speak any language fast. And for that, we have a special guest. He's going to introduce himself right now. So, without further ado, let's get started. Welcome again. As we said, we have a special guest. Hello, David.
Hello, Alan, and thanks for having me. Hello everyone, I'm David Smith, and I'm a communication specialist.
Great. David is here today to share some tips with any language learner. I hope they will be useful.
I also hope so.
Alright, our listeners want to know how to speak any language fast. Or should I say, they want to know the easiest way to go about it. What do you have for them?
Well, first, they have to listen a lot.
That sounds difficult as a start.
Well, for adults, it may, but for children, it's a piece of cake.
Great. So, what is so special about this tip?
Okay, if you're an adult, and you want to get started with a new language, the best way to go about it is to do it the way children do.
What do you mean?
You know, children like stories, school music, and they're really excited when you read them poems and other things. And in a short period of time, they can easily sing or recite the poem.
Yeah, that's true. My kids can recite and sing almost all the songs they learn in school.
Exactly. They learn fast that way. Songs, stories, and poems mostly taught orally. So, as an adult, if you want to start learning a language with great pronunciation and listening skills, you have to take listening exercises seriously. Take children for example. They don't read or write until at the age of 5 or 6, but before they go to school, they know a lot in their native language. Why is it so? It's simply because they took a long time to listen. In fact, children like drawing. They can draw a cat instead of writing the word cat, for example. So, using images helps a lot. Okay, let's come back to adults. A good start would be the listen and repeat exercises. It could be about any topic, but I'll recommend topics like education, health, travel, numbers, friendship, family, business, transportation, weather, or anything of interest. You can have videos where images are displayed with their names below them. Then as the speaker reads them, you just repeat. Some words may have short sentences attached to them. This will help know how to use the word in a sentence. Great. How long does this process take? Probably 2 to 3 weeks. You can also do it until you get familiar with the words and expressions provided.
Wow, that's amazing. I think I will start learning Chinese.
Wonderful. This will work faster because Chinese has a completely different alphabet, and it's considered one of the most difficult languages for English speakers. So, you have no option than to learn through listening first.
Alright, what next?
The next one is practice. The best way to learn a language is not to memorize words only, but to use the words you've learned in real life.
Okay, so you mean that, if I learn new words through stories and other listening materials, I just have to use them in real life to improve my level? Absolutely. You got it right. Most people learn a language because they want to do something with it. Maybe they want to travel, or their job requires that they learn an additional language, or it's to make friends. Whatever their goal, they're planning on using the language. Alright, so, if our children learn Spanish at school, the best way for them to learn it would be to use it with their friends. By doing so, they will improve quickly.
Of course, the more you practice, the better you become.
Interesting. Now what's the last tip?
Reading and speaking.
That's obvious.
Well, not so obvious I'm afraid because not everybody likes reading.
Oh, yes, I forgot that. So, how is reading useful?
Reading will help you think in your target language. It helps you apply the pronunciation that you've learned in the listening. First, do a silent reading and later, you can read aloud.
Great. I like doing silent reading when I want to sound more natural. I know a bit of German.
Yes, and that's the point. You sound more fluent and natural when you read in your mind. That's a secret to fluency. Some people say, when I read in my mind, I know the language, but when I use my own voice, I sound terrible. It's the same when you know a language, but whenever you speak with someone, you lose your words. It's a normal process. Your mind is trying to get used to thinking in your target language. As you continue practicing, you won't lose your words anymore. And that's the power of reading. Reading also helps enrich your vocabulary. The more words you know, the more things you can say.
What about loud reading then?
This helps you perfect your speaking skill. In fact, when you read a lot, you kind of know how to link words together. The linking takes place naturally as you read. This influences your speaking, too. Also, when you read aloud, you know how to pause and stop between words. This helps you share your thoughts more clearly.
Wow, this is impressive.
Yes, it is. Loud reading can do more than that, but we may not have time to cover all of them today.
Yes, we're even nearing the end of this podcast.
Unfortunately.
So as a summary, listening, reading and speaking are the way to go if you want to learn any language fast. Thank you, David. It was a pleasure having you with us today.
It was my pleasure, too.
All right, I hope you enjoyed this session. Don't forget to give us a thumb up. See you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.